Hello, my name's Grahame Rees from Low Stress Stockhandling, and I've run into Bill Croll from up at Barraba. And Bill, you actually went along and met Bud Williams back in 2002.
Yeah, I went to school in Tamworth with a chip on my shoulder too. Like, you know, no one's going to tell me how to handle cattle. I've been doing it all my life, and I just came away a convert. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the examples that you saw Bud talk about and then were able to take back home?
Well, simply the way he got movement in stock. Things that I was doing and didn't realise why I was doing them, I think, a lot. You know, I was never a yahoo after cattle, but I used to use a stock whip, now I don't. I used to use canes in the yard, now I don't have to. Yeah, no, I was a convert. Stock do better when they're not upset, and I can't move as quickly as I used to. And if my cattle are working properly or my sheep are working properly, I don't have to move quickly. You know, it's a great thing.
And so have you found it works with sheep as well as cattle?
Oh, yeah. And I use dogs with both sheep and cattle, but I try and keep them reasonably well under control. And if you get one that you can't keep under control, well, there's always one way of stopping them. Yeah.
So, and there's really two environments, Bill, where we work animals. We work them out in the paddock and we work them in the yards. Give me some examples of, has it been helpful out in the paddock, first of all?
Well, I think that's where it starts. You know, as a breeder, that's where you handle your stock, your mustering. My son and I sell greys, and the stock just do so well because they're not upset. And we keep cows and calves together, we keep ewes and lambs together, and the way we can move them without mismothering, yeah, it's working. And
I've heard it said that you know, when we handle animals in a low stress way, that oh yeah, that might be all right, but I don't have time to work animals that way. Yeah. How do you find that?
Well, two contradictory things, like slower is quicker and less is more. And in yards like this, don't fill this yard right up with cattle, half fill it, so that you're not tying your stock in a knot. And yeah, so I think that's two great sayings is yep. Slower is quicker and less is more. Yeah.
And the last couple of days we've been working here in the National Stockyard system, and what are the things that you see that allows people to handle animals in the way that you like to work through these yards?
Oh, safety. Safety is a big thing, because not everyone that goes to handle stock uses low stress methods. And people will tell you, oh, we don't get stressed. But when you see the way they treat stock, they don't mean to stress them, because I think a lot of people don't realise where the stress comes from. You know, someone will say, oh, I feed my stock, or I blow a whistle and they move. Well, that is part of the stress. Like, they're waiting for that whistle to blow.
Yep.
Yeah. These types of things, or my stock come and I blow the horn. Yeah, well, I think that's part of the stress. So, yeah, it's just... But the yard system's great. I've been with Murray ever since he started, and the yards are made with safety in mind, and the design so that you can actually use your low stress methods in the yards, keep your movement flowing. As we saw earlier, stock didn't follow the fence round, and a couple of the spectators said, what happened? Those stock didn't follow the fence round. I said, well, they weren't worried about the fence because they were sent in a straight line. And
yeah. And so one of the things that you shared with us over the last couple of days is that there's a lot of 3-day sickness in your area, and a lot of people are having trouble with that. You just tell me a little bit about what you had there, because I thought that was very interesting.
Well, one of the places I manage is all organic, and it's at Yarrowitch in northern New South Wales. And 3-day sickness has been a big thing up in that area. Some people have actually lost cattle because of it. On the place I manage, Red Hill, because we feed sulphur and bentonite and salt in mix to the stock, the effects of and minerals, the effects of the mosquito haven't been as bad. The sulphur coming out through the skin of the stock turns the mosquito away. Yeah, we had a few with 3-day sickness, And being an organic place, we couldn't use chemicals, so we injected them with vitamin C. And next day they got up and walked away. You know, so there again, it's a holistic thing, I think, with the vitamin C and the minerals they're getting from the licks. I don't know that the vitamin C would get them going if you're just an ordinary farmer, but everything's holistic, and there's no one cure for anything. It's a group of cures. Yeah.
So I just got one more question for you, Bill. How important is attitude when we're working on
Oh, yeah, look, as I've said, you've heard me, if you're selling the house, it's position, position, position. I don't like to pinch Bud's saying, but when you walk into a stockyard, it's attitude, attitude, attitude. If you've got the wrong attitude, you're better off staying out of yard, not coming near it. Yeah.
And it sounds to me like Bud and Eunice coming out here to Australia has certainly changed your life, the way you work animals. What, if Bud was to see this, what would you like to say to Bud?
Oh, thanks, mate, but I'm sorry I doubted you.
There's no chips on his shoulder anymore.
No chips there anymore, no.
Well, thanks very much.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
Good.
Great working with you.